Hello everybody, this is Jeff Janess. Welcome to our third lab exercise on creating and editing data. In this one we're going to see how to create a template that will allow us to create features with different classification values. And specifically we're going to create a point feature class. And in that point feature class we'll have 3 different species of tree, and we'll have a template set up that will let us create these 3 tree species just by picking the template and clicking on the map. So it's a little bit of a step up from the previous lab exercise. I'll show you a cool way to create more complex data sets. All right, so let's add our standard data. We're going to do Elden Area of Interest 2 again, same as we did in lab exercise 2. And I'm going to throw in the 2 image servers that I've been using. First up, let's go find our class GIS data, selecting creating data. Number 2. Okay, let's add our image services. Okay, 2 different images to work from. Looks good. Okay, so let's make our brand new point feature class. We're going to call it large tree locations. We're going to put it in our editor lab geodatabase the way we have been doing. Go to the catalog. We need to remember where our geodatabase is, and I've got it in this this particular folder here. So it's sitting right here. I'm going to create a new feature class. I'm going to call this one large tree locations. These will be points, not polygons. No z values. We're going to add a new attribute field to contain the species. So click here. I'm going to call this field species. It'll be a text field. And doesn't need to be 255. I'm just going to make it 25 so it's a little shorter. The coordinate system will be NAD83 UTM zone 12. And we can just hit finish, but these are the other things we could set if we want it. Okay, it has been added. Here we go. And it's been hopefully automatically added to our map. Sure enough, there it is. Okay, now here's where we start to take a new step from what we've been doing so far. When we use the template to create new features, well, that template is generated from the way our layer is symbolized. And so therefore we need to set up our layer before we start editing. And we're going to set up our layer so that it will allow us to have 3 different species in it. So we're going to open the Symbology, just right click on the layer, go to Symbology. We're not going to do single symbol, but rather we are going to use unique values. Okay. The field that we're going to symbolize by will be species, so this is good. This is how it's symbolized so far, but we need to add a new classification to it. So we're going to hit this little green plus sign. Now this is our current list of attribute values, and there isn't anything here yet, so we've got to hit Options, Add New Value. First one we're going to make is Ponderosa Pine. Okay. Now we're going to change the Symbology. You click on this, it will open up the Symbology window. We're going to click on the gallery, and I just like circle number 3 for this, so I'm just picking that. But I'm going to change the color of it. I don't want it to be red. So we go back to Properties, change the color, and I'm just going to pick green. You can pick whatever color you want. Hit Apply, then hit this little back arrow to go back. Okay, so we got our first one. Now let's add 2 more. We're going to add one for Douglas Fir. Add new value. We're going to make this one a yellow circle. Go to Gallery, Circle, Properties, make it yellow. Hit Apply, go back. Okay, we've got 2 categories so far. Let's add a 3rd one for Gamble Oak. I'm going to make this one blue. Okay, go back. All right, so now I have my 3 categories set up. I have to hit OK. If I don't hit OK, then it just won't happen. So I hit OK. All right, it has re-symbolized this over here in my contents pane, and it's looking good here in my Symbology window. Now I don't need a class for all other values, so I'm going to get rid of that. Just hit the More and uncheck this, and that goes away. So we're just left with the 3 we care about. All right, we can close this. All right, our layer is now set up correctly, and our template will be based on this layer. Now before we start editing, we want to make sure that our new feature class is the only one that is editable and the only one that's selectable. So let's just click on here, uncheck these two, let's click on the list by editable, uncheck Elden. All right, now it's ready to start editing. So we come to the Edit tab, go to our Create, this will open up our Create Features pane. Now notice we got 3 templates down here, and if we click on Douglas Fir, it'll open up the little constructor tools, and we're just going to use the tool that creates points. So we can click on that, and I'm going to click on a couple of trees. Please don't be worried about only making sure that you're clicking on the truly Douglas Fir trees down here. You know, I'm not checking to see if you got the right species of tree. We're just learning how to create points and using different templates, so don't worry about accuracy. Okay, let's go to Gamble Oak. Let's create a few Gamble Oaks. We're going to click on a couple more. Notice how the symbology is changing appropriately. Let's click on Ponderosa Pine. Let's create a couple of those. We'll put one here in the middle. All right. All right, so we have created all our features here. And I'm going to close this. We need to save our edits right here. And I'm going to just clear the selection. All right, so we've created a whole bunch of points, and they're symbolized as Gamble Oak, Ponderosa Pine, and Doug Fir. But let's just open up the attribute table to confirm that the values were correctly written to the table. And sure enough, our species attribute field has been filled with the correct value with every point that we clicked. All right, so looking good so far. All right, so our last step is just to edit the metadata so that we'll have our name engraved in this feature class. So let's go to the catalog window, right click on large tree locations, go to edit metadata. We've been here many times before. Let's copy this out, paste it in. All right, save our metadata edits, close the metadata editor, and let's just take a look. Yep, looking good. All right, we could zoom to the extent. Just right-click on the layer, go to Zoom to Layer, and here are our new point features in all the different classes. All right, thanks so much, everybody.